Hello, people of YouTube. Okay, so I just wanted to share something real quick because I was super inspired. Um, I I knew that I was going to be working on this, but seeing somebody, um, and the person will know who they are if they see the video or whatever. But seeing cards and knowing that I don't have to like make such a big deal out of it, like, has been healing. I see, I see readers that will make their own personal decks with the Make Playing Cards site, and I think that's so cool. And all the decks look like so good. And I'm stubborn about certain things. And so I'm like, oh, there's no point in, and this is not to knock anybody's style or way of doing things, but I'm like, there's just no reason for me to find a bunch of images and put them together and make a collage style deck when I could just look at other decks. Like, I could just use a deck that I like. I could just work with a deck I like already. Or I could just collage. Just when the mood strikes me, I could just collage. I could just journal. Um, and I had made a wordy deck that does work. But then it's kind of like, why am I pulling from this deck when I heard it already? Like, I can hear it. So if I just sit, if I sit, then I'll just hear it anyway. So why am I making the cards with the words, with the phrases, with the sentences? Is that just to confirm? Well, yes, that that did help. That has helped. When it's just like I hear something and I pull a card and it says that or something related to that in that way, so that I know, okay, yes, like, not just off the rails. It's just like any speculation about me being off the rails. Okay, well, sure, but I'm also right. So, um, question mark can okay. So why did you do a wordy, like, do a wordy deck again? Because this time I'm like, oh, this can be reading subjects. Now I know that, yeah, that's that what a lot of us will do with an oracle deck. Like, you could just pull a couple oracle cards, one oracle card, a couple different oracle cards, and that can be the focal point of a reading, and then pull from tarot, and that clarifies things, gets conversation going, adds to that. Yes, yes. But so far, oracle decks seem to be focused around certain topics, and it's just like, we're all inspired how we're inspired, whatever we're focused on, whatever is um, on our minds. And that's where the person that was showing herself and telling that, like, she just makes decks, like she buys playing cards and just makes decks, and this is based off of her interpretation of different things. It's personalized. I'm like, that's such a good idea. Like, limitless, limitless. So that means we don't have to wait for somebody to come up with something. It'd be like the lover's oracle. I don't know if this is the name of somebody's deck. If so, this is, ignore. But it'll be like the lover's oracle or something, and there's only so many cards, and they're centered around whatever the deck creator was thinking. So I'm like, imagine anything. Like, you, these are, okay, so I put clear laminate on these cards so that they can take some ruckus. And these are just blank playing cards. Yeah, there's few packs in there, handy dandy, and it's blank on both sides. So I put wrapping paper on the back. Would not recommend. Would not recommend um, doing that. At least the way that I did. I used Mod Podge on most of them. Then I tried Gorilla Glue. Um, the Gorilla Glue stuck, but it was kind of thick, so it like added some thickness to the cards. And the Mod Podge didn't quite stick, so there's bubbling and whatnot. So my answer is going to be contact paper when I do this again. But anywho, what I'll do is just like shuffle around, whatever, riffle around it, through it. And it's funny. Pull. um, and just pull. Just pull different things. Um, and that that is how I'll be able to focus a direction when I'm shooting in the dark, because this is really some magical, mysterious stuff. When you see somebody read in public and they have not chosen the topic beforehand, or they have not decided to read on a specific person or a specific situation, and they're just going with the flow, it's major. This is freaking major. And a lot of times, like, I just start talking, and I've had people, like, I've caught these hits, like, who is she talking to? She's not talking to nobody. That girl is crazy. She's so wrong. She's so mean. My response is, clearly I was talking to you, because out of this whole wide internet and these billions of people online, all these people that are on the internet, you saw me. And I'm so grateful for the different apps that have reflected to some regard. And I'm aware that, like, uh, data can be fiddled with and all that. But when you know that you're seen, or you know that you're saying something for a reason and somebody is going to see it, and that's not reflected in any way, it's hard. So when the apps do show it, and it's just like, oh, okay, so I've gotten 10 likes but 100,000 views. I'm like, and kudos to for Lemonade. It's like they don't show that to the public. You When you go to someone's page on the Lemonade app, you only see the interaction. You see likes and you see comments. You don't see the views. The creator sees the views. The the developers see the views. And so that's a beautiful thing because, say, over on Instagram, before I had made my account a business account, I just knew that I was seen, but there would be zero likes, zero comments. And to speak in front of thousands of people when you have thousands of followers, but no interaction on it, it looks bad. People look at it and they think it looks bad. And immediately you just look like a fake page. Now, Instagram knows that I wasn't a fake page, but the random public can just be like, well, nobody likes her, or nobody sees it, or she's just a freaking fake page. So when I flipped it, switched it to business, and got to see the feedback in a concrete form, that really helped. So that's the same thing that's occurring when it comes to like uh, oracles like this. If you are reading by yourself, quote unquote, by yourself, meaning you don't have a physical person that is sitting across the table from you, or you're not on an app like talking back and forth actively in that way, your validation for you being on target, for you doing what you're supposed to do, it has to come from you just being self assured, or your stuff, your tools, your things. And so when you come across a reader that is super confident that they are right, even if they got an occasional or a bunch of people that'll be like, wrong, wrong, wrongity, wrong. This wasn't accurate. This wasn't right. This didn't fit. It's just like, okay, person. Well, a lot of times, like if a person is mad and saying that it doesn't fit, part of it did, or all of it did, and the perspective was wrong. What I mean by that is, say, like, if I'm trying to sell you a house, I should be talking to you about all the good things about the house. But what if I talk about everything that's wrong with the house? Like, I'm talking about all the reasons why you shouldn't buy the house. You're going to think I'm not a realtor. You're going to think that I don't want to sell the house, or I'm not a realtor and like I must be something else because a realtor would be trying to sell you the house, right? So you come to a reader and it's just like, you want me to like the reading, don't you? You want me to be glad that I listened to you. So you should cater it to me. Like, you should make me feel good for listening to you. You shouldn't be telling me that I'm horrible. You shouldn't be telling me all the ways that I'm wrong. You shouldn't be saying negative things about me, or things that I would be embarrassed for you to say, or whatever. You should just be telling me the truth, but make it sound good. It should feel positive to me. And this is where things are specific for different readers. Sometimes you know who you're speaking to, and sometimes you don't. Some people know, some people don't. Some people are really blunt naturally, and some people are natural sugar coaters. They're just sugar coaters. There are people that, like, if you're just like, how do you like this outfit? What do you think of what I'm wearing? And no matter what you look like or what the outfit is, their answer is you look great. And some people that will be like, not the best. That's not ideal. Like, yeah, try again. It's not horrible, but try again. And there's people that will go above and beyond. You look horrible, fat, horrendous, ugly. It's the worst outfit I ever did see. So when you're rolling across a reader, you got to go with how you need to receive information. Do you need to be told off a little bit? Or do you need it nice? You need it soft? You need it gentle? Or can you take just the facts, regardless how it hits? Are you a person that's able to turn things around in your mind, regardless of which direction a reader got it? Because sometimes, also, when it comes to love readings, maybe you came to a love reading because you want to hear about your person and they start describing you. Or it might be your person actually comes through in the reading and you can hear them. It's just like, whoa, that straight up sounds like something they would say. Yep. So, um, people are different. And from what I've received as feedback, like I can be kind of neutral. Like I'm in the middle. It's the facts. And you've got to be able to accept the facts, like how someone might see you. It's like some people tell me to like, come on with it, Brittany. Like stop, like don't be nice or whatever. And it's just like it's not that I'm being nice or that I'm ever trying to like gloss over things, but I am compassionate and understanding regardless of a position. It takes me knowing that a person is being mean to you on purpose for me to call it. Because sometimes people are perceived as mean and they're just going through stuff. Sometimes somebody is perceived as mean and they are responding to something. Sometimes people are considered mean and they just have some space, like they're just taking some space, or they're working on something and they don't want to discuss it. So I know from my life experience, I've lived enough, been through enough to know that for me to say somebody is mean, or for me to uh, respond with hostility or address things in a kind of hostile way, oh yeah, it's there. It's earned. It's a hostile situation. It's a mean situation. My response has been earned. So um, that sometimes happens with me when it comes to readings, where Um, because, mind you, you have to think about the sum of this practice. I'm going to keep flipping just so you guys can see an idea of what I got in this stack. I'm just going to be using this because I'm over on Substack. So, um, this is just going to be my thing. But I'm kind of putting some ideas out into the wind for someone that might not feel that they could make a regular deck or make something on the fly that works, because that can be an issue where you trust tarot or you trust oracles as long as it's made already, but you might not trust yourself. You might be like, oh, it's going to be ugly, or I don't really uh, know how to draw really well, or I don't know if the keywords or the messages that I put on the card are going to apply or be effective for a reading where I can actually get somewhere with it. Yes, yes, it can work. I watched it work. I watched this other chickadee. I watched it work, and I've seen it work for myself, but I haven't done it in this way. I was just, this is for me also, but I'm just saying that I did it for me and my person. This is mainly for me being able to write and write without some of this freaking stress. People may think that because I write really long, I can write a lot. Some people thought it was just AI, like, oh, she's just running it, some words through the machine or cranking out some machine words. And it's just like, no, this is me. I've written pages and pages and pages, typed whenever on the phone. I've done pages and pages and pages in one sitting. So, yes, this is me. But the publishing, hitting publish for me is challenging because I've kind of been hoping no one reads it. I've taken comfort in it being like no one reads it. But the purpose of posting on social media is like originally it's supposed to be somebody reads it. You're you're supposed to hope that lots of people read it, that lots of people subscribe and whatnot. But I've been kind of concerned because I'm like, a lot of what I'm saying can be hard to hear, hard to accept. And it's like, am I just cracked? Because some people would accept that easier. If I get angry, or if what I'm saying is really far out, like when I'm talking about otherworldly beings, and I'm not just saying like flying across the land in a spaceship. Although some fly around on a spaceship. But I'm saying that otherworldly can just mean interdimensional, can mean on another plane of reality that's still on Earth, can be from another place on Earth, traveled through mysterious means, could be what humanity would call a creature. It's like not a human. Some people call that fairy tales, mythology, craziness, or just fiction. And so I've got some kind souls. I mean, they're trying to be kind when they're saying, "How about you just write fiction?" I'm like, I don't know how to write fiction. And then I get silence from them because they're like, haven't you been writing fiction this whole time? Isn't like your whole stuff like bullcrap? Like, isn't that what it is? No. No, it isn't. I don't know how to write fiction. But as soon as I started visibly showing, like, okay, I'm trying to learn how to write fiction, some people were just like, okay, what is she doing? Like, why are you doing that? And so I've been all over the place trying to adjust to what other people will accept from me. Like, what do you want from me? And it's hard, and it's like it's funny because the Aquarians are considered like, oh, we're so rebellious, we're so willing to be ourselves in front of everyone. I think we get that way. Like part of Aquarian trajectory is being ourselves visibly because probably more than any other sign, we pick things up from other people that we like, that we admire, and maybe for periods of time we think that we could be that. We'll be like, oh yeah, I totally resonate with that, or I love that. Let me take on a part of that myself, and maybe we're like that, like we're into it. And right now, I'm thinking about Oprah. Oprah is a famous Aquarius. Remember her, when she was hanging out with Bob, and it was like, get with the program. She lost all this weight, and she was like into the weight loss, just like she was into Dr. Phil for a while. She was into Deepak Chopra. She like she's into who she's into for the time. I'm not saying there was extra stuff like whatever. I'm just saying that when she's focused on something, like she's about it, eventually the sum of all these different things that we like or that we're into or that we resonate with, all of that equals us. And we're confident in it because we look to authorities. So to other people, we might just seem different. We just seem like we're doing some totally renegade behavior and we're really confident about it. We're confident because we know it's true. We know it's accurate. We know it works. We know it's good. We know we like it. But it is a sum of a bunch of different things or a bunch of different people. So wrapping this up, bringing this all together. I knew I was in a divination. I've known that for years. But after after being moved, being moved away from personal readings, I haven't known what else. And I've listened to a lot of suggestion, but I just can't get behind doing anything that my heart really isn't in anymore. Like, I can't just do something to do it or just do it because maybe there's going to be money because I believe. in my heart of hearts that you can make money doing anything. Anything could be paid. And I also believe that there are rewards for following your intuition, following the path that's before you, and that we all have one. Some paths converge, and it's like that people are doing the same thing or something similar or something like that, or they end up working together. But you find your stuff. It works out. I believe that it does. So, um, this is me now, and people have been wondering what I'm doing. I say what I'm doing. It may seem unbelievable, but I'm doing what I say I'm doing. Do I tell you everything that I'm doing, like every moment or like every aspect or plans, dreams, ideas? No, no. A girl gotta have something to herself. But generally speaking, it's just like what you see is what you get at the speed that you get it. Just because I don't post at the speed of light, like back to back to back, uh, doesn't mean that I don't care about where I'm at or that I'm not putting forth effort. I am. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that takes a lot of time. That's a thing. Like, seriously, appreciate every card reader that, when you run across them and they are specific and accurate. That is intense work. It is serious. And they are being communicated with. It is serious work to trust and be confident in it. Serious. It's not just called just flinging stuff. And if you encounter somebody that's just flinging cards and saying whatever, or their words are generic, they're just general words of affirmation, or they're just literally reading off the cards or reading directly from the book every time, all the time, whatever, then yeah, that sucks. But just because a person has ever hit the books doesn't mean that they're not an intuitive reader. A person can hit the books to validate themselves. Because again, there's got to be some form of validation if you don't have a physical person sitting right there with you, online or in person. Feedback versus saying, oh, yeah, totally. That's right. Oh, my goodness, how did you know? Or coming back to you after reading and saying, you were totally right. That happened exactly the way you said it would. Or the person was exactly like you described them. That helps. If you don't have no chit chat like that, it's your cards, it's books, it's feelings in yourself, and it's whatever synchronicities occur. Sounds in your environment. If an object falls down, if it's birds making noise, if it's your animal coming up to you, These are things that validate. And Spirit knows what you need. Any of us that are summoned to this work, yeah, we get our assistance, we get our help, we get our support. But the journey is specific for different people. So I think I've said enough. said enough. So if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate ya. I'm sending lots of love your way on your journey, and I'll see you in the next one.